Hi, Chevra. Welcome back to Planning in Olam Haba. Trying to give you something heading into Shabbos, but obviously to watch at your leisure. I try to drop this video sort of towards the end of the week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So welcome back and welcome to those who've just joined. Obviously with Lag BaOmer, supposed to be tremendous simcha, but had a rough Lag BaOmer here, and we need to talk about Olam Haba and what we're looking for in Yemos Moshiach, God willing, the Messianic era. Continuing with the beginning of chapter 10, stanza 15. So the best landmark I could give you, go about 3/4 of the way down in this 15th stanza, again 10:1, and you'll find a quote in parentheses, Shabbos Lamed Amud Bet, Shabbat Lamed and the two dots, and go down a few lines from there where it says, again, parentheses, Ayin Shabbat Lamed Amud Bet, and from there, that's on the beginning of the line, Shabbat Lamed Amud Bet, and a closed parenthesis. Now go down 10 lines from there. It says as follows, Ve'amashiach, the first one line is Shleimut, the last one line is Yamut. Okay? Ve'amashiach Yamut. So after the original sort of generation of the Mashiach, of the Messiah, who is a king, an earthly king, human king, or a leader. Mashiach Yamud, he's going to die. V'imloch beno tachtav, and then his child will take over. Ben beno, and the grandchild will take over. So there'll be the Davidic lineage will be restored. Ukvar bir navi es misaso lo yiche v'lo yarutz ad shiyasim ba'aretz mishpat v'yarich malchuso yamim rabim ad me'od. So he says that the Navi explained that the Mashiach will die, right? That there's this idea, not that he won't die, he will die like a human being, but he won't die until incredible things are brought into the world. There'll be justice brought back into the world, and there'll be a very long, prosperous leadership, a prosperous experience, national experience. V'yarchu chayei b'nei ha'adam, and people's lifetimes, life expectancy will go up. Now, think about life expectancy in the Rambam's time 1,000 years ago, or before that, in the Mishnah Gemara times 1,000 years before that. Life expectancy, 30, 40, years old, 50 years old, maybe, but more than 30, 40 years old, we know. Now, look at what life expectancy is. Look at the new drugs that are coming ever more. With COVID, unfortunately, it really made a big hit on the elderly population, but we know that there's just much more that's been learned and understood, and God willing, it's going to impact lifespans, natural lifespans, Amir Hashem, in a really tremendous way, based on all of the technology that we have now that Hashem brought into the world. He says, by the way, plus, when people aren't so worried about persecution, and they're not so worried about, things, that your daily travail. The Rambam's brilliant, right? He's saying, look, I get it. Stress, anxiety, they impact a person's life expectancy. They impact your mental health, which impacts your physical health. And we'll have long life because we'll be more relaxed, chill. ואין לתמוה שתתקיים מלכותו על אפיים מן השנים, לפי שהחכמים אמרו, כי הקיבוץ הטוב כשיתקבץ לא במהר ייפרד. And don't question, really, will it last 2,000 years, this malchut, this messianic era of peace, of prosperity, of serenity? He says no, because our rabbis tell us that when there's a good gathering, that isn't broken up very quickly, and we need good gatherings that are not broken up in our day and age, that's for sure. Achdus. And he's like, we're not looking forward to the Mashiach, to the Messianic era, because of we'll have an abundance of wealth and so on and so forth, and material prosperity, veloshin nirkav al susim, and that we'll ride on horses, riding, in the nicest, most amazing souped up automobiles, electric automobiles. V'lo lishto yayin, and drinking because we'll be able to drink the best tequila and the best wines and so on. B'minei hazemer, and listening to amazing music and so on. K'moshe mechashvin mibulbelei hadat, as those of confused minds think. That's what it's all about. It's all about the great, incredible bounty, physical bounty, material bounty that will happen. I'll listen to music and I'm going to chill and I'm going to drink, and it's going to be, I don't know, this big party all the time. Aval hitavu haneviyim hachasidim. Do you know why the prophets and the pious ones always desired, really yearned for Yemos Moshiach? The Rav tat shukatame lav, and had tremendous shuka for it. Really, again, we had a desire and a yearning for it. L'mashiyeh bo mikibutz tzadikim, because it'll be a time where there'll be righteous people gathered, good people. Ve'anhagat hatova ve'achachma v'tzedek hamelech v'rov yoshro, because we'll be led by amazing moral and upright leaders that are wise, that are caring, that are good people, literally good. Hanagas hatova, they'll restore goodness into the world, and the Melech HaMashiach, the leader of that generation, the Messianic King, he's going to lead that movement. V'rov yoshro ve'aflagas chachmaso, and because of his yosher, because of his uprightness, his a straight shooter, and telling it like it is, and just being real. And none of the meshugas, and none of these leaders that are phonies, or that are only interested in exploiting people for power. But it'll just be yosher and wisdom and chachma, v'kivuto el Elohim, and people that have just a connection to Hashem that we wish we could have. That's what we want. That's what we want to look forward to. That's who we want to look up to. K'mo shenemar Hashem amar elai b'ni ata ani hayom yiladaticha v'asiya, as it says that God said to me today, I know you've given birth to me, meaning we recognize Hashem in an all new kind of way. And perhaps that this pandemic and this tragedy, this disaster, it just shows us how much, literally every breath we take, to quote Lahavdil Police, every breath we take is a gift that we need to turn to Hashem and say thank you to. Every hug we give to our children, every kiss. Yeah. V'asiyat kol mitzvos Torahs Moshe Rabbeinu, and we have the ability to keep all of the mitzvos of Moshe. Alav Shalom me'eni trashlut ve'atzla, without weakening and without laziness, below ones, and not being forced to, compelled to do, but we're going to want to do it. K'moshenemar v'lo yilmadu odii shel achiv v'shereyu etreyu v'ishad achiv le'mor duas Hashem ki kulam yedu osi miktanam ve'ad gedolam, as it says in Jeremiah and Yirmiyahu. We won't look and say, we need to learn, all of us need to learn Hashem. Please, help me to understand Hashem. We're going to know, all of us will know. From our youngest children who are Baruch Hashem learning in yeshiva, about the deepest concepts of our Torah in all of our day schools and so on. The Ad Gedolam, until to the oldest in the generation. Everyone's going to know. We're going to know what's right. We're going to know what we want. We're going to know what priorities are. V'natati torati b'libam, and God says, I'll put my Torah in their hearts. V'asiroti et leva even mib'sarchem, and I'll remove the heart of stone from your flesh. V'harbe me'elu apsukim b'zeh inyan, and there are many other psukim like this. That's what Mashiach's about. That's what we're looking forward to. Ube'ela ha'inyanim yasigu olam haba asaga chazaka. And by doing this, by engaging with God, with godliness, with Am Yisrael, with Yashrus, with morality, with ethics, with elevation, looking at ourselves and self-improvement, through that we will achieve an incredible chelek, hasaga, a really deep comprehension of the next world. והתכליס הוא העולם הבא ולמעשו הוא ההשתדלות, ולפיכך זה החכם המוחזק בידיס האמס, עיין בתכליס האחרון, ויניח מה שזולתו, ואמר כל ישראל יש להם חלק עולם הבא. And he gets into the beginning of this Mishnah, which we'll get to next week, God willing, basically saying that's what a chacham really understands. That every Jew has a share in the coming world. Why? Because all of us somewhere deep down know what's right. And if we don't know what's right, we want to know what's right. And that's what we're looking forward to in times of Mashiach. May Hashem bring it and take away and remove suffering and illness and sadness from us. Bila hamavas lanetzach, and may death be wiped away. Umach Hashem dima me'al kol panim. Amen. And may Hashem remove all of the tears from the Jewish people and bring us back with health, with happiness, and good fortune. Have an amazing, amazing day, an amazing Shabbos, an amazing week.